What is up, guys? Team Yugi Feels here with another deck profile, and today we're going to be looking at some solid rocks. We're going to be taking a look at my Adamancipator deck profile. I finally got my researchers in the mail this past week, so I figured I'd toss the deck together and showcase to you guys the list that I'm currently playing. It's a lot of fun. I for a long time did not want to pick up this deck or Eldritch, but I said, you know what? I said I might as well. So the only thing I was missing was actually researchers. I had everything else. So I said, you know what? I'll just grab the researchers and suck it up on the price tag and just toss the deck together, seeing it really wasn't that much money. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop into this deck profile and showcase what I'm playing. So we have 3 Researcher. Obviously, Researcher is the best Adamancipator main deck monster. It just gets you really going once you have a rock monster on the field other than itself. Being able to special summon it from your hand is just an awesome effect. We play 3 Seeker. Seeker is able to special summon itself if you have another Adamancipator monster on the field, which is really good because you can search the Seeker and the Researcher and like Gigantes off of Black Dragon, so that just opens up a full combo there, which is really awesome. Then we have the 3 Analyzer, which basically if your opponent controls a monster, if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it from your hand, and it has the same excavation effect as Seeker and Researcher, which is really solid too. Then, of course, we have to play the triple Black Dragon. The card's too good not to play multiples of. I see lists that play 1. That's a terrible idea. You do not want to play 1 of this. Chances are Konami might ban it. There's a chance they could, but I think at most they'll put it to 1. But for right now, you gotta play 3. You just have to. And we have 3 Quackimira Guardian. Guardian is overall really good at stopping Nibiru. If you can end with the Guardian and a Black Dragon up, then you don't have to reveal a rock in hand, and your Guardian gets to stay, which is also pretty useful. We have 3 Doki Doki. This opens up a lot of plays too, which I think is really important in this deck. The deck obviously can combo off and end on a ridiculous amount of negates, but there are hands where like you look at cards and you go, wow, I don't have a lot of ways to extend, and Doki Doki will help you extend for sure. Then I play 2 Tackle Crusader. The card's pretty good, especially if your opponent has the Buster Lock. You can out the Buster Lock with the Tackle Crusader, which is awesome. So definitely consider playing it. Then, of course, the 1 Gigantes that I mentioned before. That's just there for a nice special summon. Then moving on to a bunch of extenders. We have triple Adhara. Adhara is just, it's a free tuner basically. It can be your first summon, or if you open up other cards that will allow you to special summon it, which we'll get to in a minute. It's also a very good choice. I really like this card when I see it. If I don't, that's okay though, because I have about 15 other ways of doing the combo. Then we play 3 Madolche Pettingcessor. You can interchange this with Dinotherium. My only issue with Dinotherium is that if your opponent went first, they can possibly summon a monster back from their graveyard, which you don't want. So the Pettingcessor is, in my opinion, a bit better. And I play 1 Olion. It's really good for the combo. I think just playing the 1 of it is perfectly fine. Then I play 1 Beta and 1 Angel Trumpeter. So I think that these 2 cards are really awesome choices. When I first put the deck together, I was testing the Sekka's Light build, and it was doing okay. But after tossing these in here as extenders, I'm thoroughly a firm believer that this is the better build to go with Unexpected Die. Then for some hand traps, we play 3 Nibiru and 3 Impermanence. These are the only hand traps that I'm playing in the main deck. I don't think that you really need to play any others currently in this deck. There's not a lot of room anyways. If you were playing the Unexpected Die version, you would cut these for Ashes. I'm sorry, not if you're playing the Sekka's Light variant, you would cut the Imperms for Ashes, and then you would cut a lot of the other spells for other hand traps. But that's if you're playing that list. I'm not, because I don't like it as much. Then we play, of course, as I mentioned, the 3 unexpected die, just because special summoning the Gamma or the Trumpeter from your deck is really, really good on your first move. And the fact that you can summon them and still summon your Adhara from hand is also really good, because Adhara just says as long as you don't control any effect monsters, you can special summon it from your hand. So the unexpected die has a lot of synergy. And then the last card is the Magical Midbreaker Field. I really enjoy this card. There are sometimes when I open it in my opening hand and I kind of go, I don't know if I like this card as much. But you know, overall, it just stops Veiler, it stops Imperm, and it stops Ghost Ogre. So you might in Gamma, so you might as well just play it. Moving on to the extra deck now. I play 1 Link Spider and 1 Link Cross for the Link 1s. The Link Spider comes up semi-frequently, and the Link Cross comes up basically every starting combo for the most part. Overall, they're both necessary cards. I play the 1 Union Carrier. I don't play the Buster, but I think it's really important to be able to equip the Block Dragon and continue on from there. So I think that playing the Union Carrier for that purpose is awesome. And if like you don't end up using it and you end up setting up your full board and you have other cards you can make Union Carrier with that you don't want on your field, you can equip Madolche Petincessor to your Appaloosa and give it basically another negate, which is awesome. Then we play 1 Needle Fiber, or Halqa Fiber X, whatever you want to call it. It's fully up to you. Pretty essential to most of your starting combos. There are ways that you can obviously do combos without using this card, but overall you want to try and use the Halq. And we play 1 Cerberus and 1 Unicorn. I think that Phoenix just isn't that good in this deck. If it was other decks, I'd say sure, but in this deck, I don't think it's necessary. So just stick with the Cerberus and the Unicorn for now. Then for the Link Force, I play 1 Appaloosa and 1 Access Code. I think that this is fairly standard for the most part. I really like this ratio. Just playing 1 of each of these. I don't think any of the other Link Force are really necessary, so I stick with those. Then for some rank 4s, I play 1 Dweller and 1 Gallant Granite. I think that the Gallant Granite can really open up your plays when your opponent like does an early Ash or something, and then you can make a Granite and then just continue from there. And then the Dweller obviously not only gives you an additional negation, but it gives you multiple negations because your opponent can't even use their abilities in the grave, which is awesome. Then moving on to the Synchro Monsters, we have a Martial Metal Marcher. It's part of the Needle Fiber combo, so you kind of have to play it, but that's okay. Then we have 1 Herald of the Arclight. Herald helps you really establish that first negate to progress through your plays. If your opponent doesn't Nibiru you before it's summoned, chances are they're going to struggle. And sometimes you'll have a Guardian up in addition to making a Herald, so they're really not going to be able to play through it. And we have the 1 Raptite and the 1 Dragite for your Adamancipator Synchro Monsters. I think just playing 1 of each of these is perfectly fine. Dragite is crazy, though. I love that card, being able to shuffle stuff back. And then we play 1 Borreload Savage Dragon for the multiple negations. Typically, it's going to be 2 negations because you're going to make it with Needle Fiber or Cerberus attached to it, but that's just the common thing to see. That is the extra deck. We will move on to the side deck. Side deck, as I always state in my videos, is always a work in progress. It depends on what your meta is in the tournament that you're going to. It depends on what you think you're going to see. And some of it is just personal preference or techs, whatever you want to go with. So we will start with the side deck now. I have 3 Artifact Lancia. Card's really good against a lot of decks. In particular, obviously, it's really good in the mirror matchup because your opponent can't make their Block Dragon, which is crazy. Outside of that, it's good against Eldritch because they can't banish their spells and traps from Grave, which is also really good. It's good against a bunch of other decks. You know, there are some rogue matchups that'll pop up too that it'll be really good against. So playing the Lancia, in my opinion, is fully worth it. The 1 tech card that I play in here would be the 2 Ghost Reaper. This is for any deck that's going to excessively go into Needle Fiber. You can just have them go first, or if you know they're going to go first, you side in the cherries, you reveal the Needle Fiber, and then they struggle at that point because their combo is essentially killed, which is really nice. Then we have 3 Dark Ruler No More. I think that in this deck, it's really important to play this card, and especially in this meta with all the negation boards that are coming out. Being able to completely shut your opponent's board down and then just play through it and establish a more negation-based board than your opponent has is just phenomenal. So definitely play the Dark Rulers. Then we have triple Cosmic Cyclone for the back row decks, and Eldritch in general. Like Eldritch technically is a back row deck, but seeing they typically are going to play the synchro variation, you're going to have to worry about some back row, but not as much. But Cyclone is fully worth it. Then we have triple Evenly Matched, also really good against back row decks. I just think Evenly Matched is always going to be a good card for that purpose. You know, being able to clear back row out is really important. And then we play one red reboot for the back row decks as well. So we kind of have a side deck that covers all aspects of the meta currently. You know, there's not much in here that's missed out of the meta, and the Lancias too, I forgot to mention this, the Lancias also cover dinosaurs too, because dinosaurs will struggle. So definitely take that into consideration, and it'll help advance your plays even further. That way your opponent can't play and you can. But that is the entire deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And this is Team Yugi Feels signing out.